Alright everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to replace your injector return lines for your fuel. Mine have a really bad leak, which I'll show you here in a second after I turn the truck on. But today's process is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to take the old lines off, put the new lines on, and hopefully that'll fix my fuel leak problem. If not, then it'll be the gaskets for the injectors, which I'll show in a different video. Just to kind of clean things up, not put too much information into one video or the other. But let's get started. So I'll start off by turning the truck on and show you what my fuel leak looks like. Alright, first off, sorry if there's any wind noise. I'll try to block the microphone to keep it minimal, but let's look at this fuel leak real quick. I'm going to have to try to talk back here and then go in and show you because the truck's so loud, but let's go under and see if we can see this. As you guys can see, this is a pretty substantial leak. It's just coming off those return lines on both sides. I'll see if I can get to this side. I don't know if I'll be able to reach in there. But guys, that's my fuel leak problem. Let's jump inside real quick. Anyways guys, that's my fuel leak problem. We're gonna try to fix that today. I gotta go run to my other truck and get my tools and then come back and then we'll get started on this thing. Alright, so all we're basically gonna use for this, for my specific application, is work gloves and the new hoses, which I bought a set of hoses. See, it'll focus here. Kind of. That kind of have like a braided material over the outside of them. They're real nice feeling, but these are actually made so that I don't need to put new clamps on the end of the hoses. The factory GM fuel return line hoses off the injectors have clamps on them, and they're just a flat rubber material. They don't have this braiding on the end of them, this like material off of it. So I wanted to get one that didn't require the clamps because they're pretty hard to get to places. And the fuel hoses on my truck right now are the incorrect size. The previous owner had tried to replace his injector return lines, but he replaced them incorrectly. So we're gonna go throw these on the truck and I'll show you how to do that right now. Basically all we gotta do is reach in here and just pull out those old lines and throw in the new one. So you can see them right there. Let's see, sorry for the wind. I'll try to shield it as much as I can. The lighting will change. There we go. You can see them, these old ones right here. Just this crappy rubber hose, and you can see that just pulled right off of there, which is not what they're supposed to do. You can see there's another one there, right here. There's another one right here, and you can see it leaking right over there. So we're just gonna pull them all off and replace them with these nice new ones that I just bought, which may be a struggle and I may need two hands to do, because these are kind of far down in here. But you can see right there, let me see if I can zoom in with one hand. Let's see. Right there, those are your injectors. And you can see that little nipple coming off with the hole in it on the left side right there. That's what your injector return lines will connect to. You can see the one on the right side connected. But these hoses just go on right there. And this is probably going to take me 2 hands to get this on there. This is kind of a tight spot to be putting hoses on. But these just go on right there like that. You should push them on, and these have a special little end on them so that these types of hoses that you won't need clamps for will just stick on. So let me get these replaced, and then I'll come back and show you guys some more. All right, let me show you what we got so far. You can see I got these new nice braided lines right here. They're braided, they're not braided there. They're rubber, but they have the nice fabric over the ends of them, just for a little extra durability. I got all 3 of those replaced over here. I don't think I need to replace this 4th one right here. It seems to be holding up pretty well. I didn't see a leak coming out of the bottom of it, but I'll have to check again when it's on. But let me show you the passenger side real quick. Depending on how well you can fit into little places, how well you can fit your hands into little places, you may need to remove your turbo to get back here. But if you look just past the turbo, you'll see your injector return lines on this side. There's one right there. There's one right there. That's your injector with the hex nut over it. And this one over here especially, let's see, right there, you may have to take all your turbo stuff off for. I'm probably gonna have to take off the turbo to get back in there. I imagine most of you will too, but I'm gonna try to get back there without it, or with it still on the truck, and see what happens. So far though, I think this is working. The other side doesn't seem to be leaking as much anymore with the truck off. So I'm gonna get back to it, and I'll come back and give you guys an update. All right, a quick note, take a look at the difference in these 2 hoses right here. The wet one is the one I just pulled off the truck, and the left one over there is the brand new ones I just bought. As you can see, the ones on the right are entirely too big, both on the outer diameter and the inner diameter, which is why I'm having to replace all of these. There's the difference in the 2 hoses. You see those ones were cut crudely, and these new ones are nice and flat. So that's one of those things, don't make a stupid mistake and replace it with the wrong part. Then you'll have the same problem that I'm having right now with the big fuel leak. A couple quick things that I also wanted to mention. If you're coming in here after your truck's been running, be careful. This is going to be hot. This is the exhaust side of your turbo, and these fuel return lines are right on top of your manifolds. So just be wary of that when you get working in here. And another thing, do not use any kind of petrol-based lubricant to put these hoses on, like WD-40 or something, because they could potentially ruin your hose structure, and then you'll be right back where you started with a leaking fuel return lines. And I realize these are meant for fuel to be running through them, but they're also meant for diesel fuel, not gasoline or something or other. So just be careful if you're going to use lubricants to try to push these hoses on. I would just go without, or just use the diesel itself as a lubricant. That way you don't ruin your good new hoses. Alright guys, I already showed you this driver's side. I got all those lines replaced. And on the injectors on the back, I forgot to mention the first time. You can't really see it from here, but on the other side of the injector, you can kind of see it right there, right above my finger. It's got a little sheen to it. There's a hose cap over on the back end. Since all the injectors are made the same, they have an outlet port on each side, so the back ones just have a cap on them. Make sure you check the life of those caps. But over here on the other side, I got all 3 of them replaced. And I tell you what, my best friend doing this was a long needle nose set of pliers. Those really help me get those up on there. They mess up and fray the ends of these a little bit. You can kind of see right there. And this one got real frayed, but it gets the hoses on there. As long as you don't death squeeze them, it won't rip them apart. But I'm gonna go turn the truck on and see if these work, and hopefully that'll fix all my fuel leak. There you go, guys. I ended up fixing all of my fuel leaks, so I won't have to do the injectors. So a video on injectors will probably be coming a lot later, just because I won't have to replace them. So I don't want to take them out and ruin the gaskets in there. Even though I have some, I'll have to take all the fuel lines off and then put them all back on, and it's a tedious process. It's something that doesn't need to be done right now, but I will be upgrading my injectors in the future. But I hope this helps a bunch of you guys with any fuel return line problems that you have. Like I showed earlier, I was able to do it without taking the turbo off. I was able to keep mine on. I've got fairly skinny arms and hands, so that wasn't a huge deal for me. It was still pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie about that. But if you get a long pair of pliers, you could do it no problem. Leaving your turbo on. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I really hope this helps. Let me know if there's anything specific you guys want to see. It's coming up soon. I'll be replacing the rear brake cylinders in my rear drums. Eventually, I'd like to get rear disc brakes, but for now, I'm going to deal with the drums. So I'll get those pistons replaced. I'll do a how-to video on that. And this weekend, here in a couple days, I should be doing some vlogging with a good friend of mine, Spoiled RC. You can check his page out in advance if you want to see any of that. But we're going to be going to a car meet. There should be a bunch of diesels there. There should be some cool trucks there, or just regular cool cars there. I'll be doing some videos on this truck. I'll be vlogging it, and it should be a good time. So I'll see you guys this weekend.